Hi viewers, welcome to our YouTube channel Make Max Easy. So in this channel we are going to discuss about few of the CBSE classes like board classes 10 and 12 as well as class 11 also we are going to cover. And actually if possible we will make an attempt to cover Andhra Pradesh State Board of intermediate and first year and second year also. And one more thing here, as we are having board exams of CBSE 10 and 12 in a month, so as of now we're just going to focus only on few important questions from each individual chapter of the classes 10 and 12, so that it will helpful for you people who are going to appear for the board examination. And I just want to share my insight here. What is the reason behind starting this channel? So usually if you see around 50 to 60% of students will be having that so-called max phobia. But that max phobia used to generate unconsciously in them. So only few people are able to do very well in the math. Why can't the other people are why the other people are not able to do better in the math? So this is the reason why I started this channel. So believe me, this channel will help you to understand max very easily, and I am very much sure that this will help you to improve your individual performance as far as max subject is concerned, irrespective of your class. So the main idea here is we have to develop some systematic way of thinking in solving a particular question. So this channel for sure will help you to develop that type of strategic way of thinking to solve any particular problem. So just please try to connect with this channel so that I will make sure that you will love max in very few days. So let us now in this video, as it is my first video, I just want to show few problems from class 12 chapter so called continuity and differentiability, like how we are going to use the type of thinking and solving when we are doing a particular question. So let us get into the concept first, and then we will let us see how we are going to develop that type of thinking in our coming days. Thank you. So if you see in the class 12 continuity and differentiability chapter, which comes under the branch called as calculus. So we know that around 35% is weightage allotted for the entire calculus, especially in class 12. So that means calculus covers continuity differentiability, that is chapter 5, and application of derivatives, integrations, application of integrations, and the last is differential equations. These 5 chapters will cover around 35% of total weightage in the CBSE class 12 math paper. So now in this class I just want to discuss few questions from chapter 5, how we are going to solve them with a logic, and what is the way of approach that we are going to solve that question. These are all things we are going to discuss when we are solving the few questions. So let us see few questions now. See, I think this question is well known for us. X is equal to cos t and y is equal to sin pt. So this they used to give to you, and they used to ask us to prove that x is equal to sin t, y is equal to sin pt, and they will ask us to prove that 1 minus x square into second order derivative, that is y suffix 2, minus x dv by dx, that means x y1, plus p square into y is equals to 0. So we know that how to solve this question, but I just want to give a different way of answering for you, so that your way of thinking when you are solving the questions will change. Now you see here, they had given to us x is equal to sin t, y is equal to sin pt. By seeing this question itself, you will come to know that this is related to the parametric equation. So we know that when you have to find out the difference dy by dx value for a parametric equation, means you will apply differentiation with respect to that parameter for x as well as y, and then you will get dy by dx. This is actual procedure. But you see here, we have to prove this one 1 minus x square into d square y by dx square minus x dv by dx plus p square y is equal to 0. You can observe here, this y2 represents d square y by dx square, which is nothing but second order differentiation, whereas this y1 represents dy by dx, that is first order differentiation. So you can just observe here, if I have to do the solution for this, I need dy by dx and then I need d square y by dx square. I have to substitute in this and I have to get the solution. But see here, once if you get the logic how to solve it and how to use the terms in the given question, your problem solving will become simple. Without observing the terms in the question, if you go for solving this, for sure you will end up with a very lengthy method, and we are not sure that at the end whether you will get answer or not. So first please observe the terms in the question. You are having a p square, you are having 1 minus x square, and x is anyway they will give in the question. So what is the reason for me to mark only these terms? Because y is available in the question, y1 and y2 anyway we have to find out. So just let me first find out dy by dx initially. If I calculate the value of dy by dx, means first I have to get the value of dx by dt. We know the differentiation of sin t is cos t, and then dy by dt is equal to actually cos pt into inner derivative p. So that means finally we are getting this term as an p cos pt. So finally if I ask you to find the value of dy by dx, you will be getting p cos pt divided by cos t. Why? Because we have to get the dy by dx value as dy by dt by dx by dt. This basics we are aware of. Now just understand here, whenever you are having a question involving with a second order differentiation, please don't go for the directly finding the second order differentiation and all. Let us try to utilize these terms itself and how to relate this whatever we obtained in the first step with the given question. This is how you have to develop your thinking. You can just observe here, dy by dx I can take it as a y1 is equal to p into cos pt divided by cos t. So you can just observe here, in the question you are having a term called as a p square. So this is giving you a hint that you have to do the squaring on both sides. Why? Because this is only p you are having here. You need a p square, means you have to do the squaring on both sides. That is the first point you have to understand. So if you do the squaring on both sides, I will be getting y1 whole square is equal to p square cos square pt divided by cos square t. So now we don't need to worry about this p square. This is already done for us. Let us try to see the other terms here. You have this 1 minus x square. Just see from the question, x is equal to sin t. So that means 1 minus sin square t. So we know that from the basics of trigonometry, 1 minus sin square t is nothing but cos square t. So that means this cos square t, whatever I am having in the question, I can write this as p square cos square pt divided by 1 minus x square. So this is the basic thing we can do only from this. See, till now we didn't apply any second order differentiation. We are still solving the first order differentiation part only. So what we are doing here, whatever we obtained in the first order differentiation, we are just trying to utilize the terms in the given question and trying to get these terms in this part, so that maybe my calculation part will become simple. Right? If you just observe here, this cos square pt is still there, Now you may get a doubt, what is the need for me to think only about this term? Why can't with the other terms? Why? Because in my proving part, if you observe, I don't have anywhere cos square pt. So my next thought should be, I have to eliminate this cos square pt. Again, using the same logic, sin pt is y means cos square pt will become 1 minus y square. So let us try to substitute that part now. You will be getting y1 whole square is equal to p square into 1 minus y square divided by 1 minus x square. So if you just observe here, in this proving part, everything you are having multiplication only, there is no division at all. So send this term to other side, you will be getting 1 minus x square y1 square is equal to p square minus p square y square. Just you can apply the differentiation because there is no further chance for simplification here, because here I have a cos square pt, which term I have to remodify. That is why I wrote in terms of y. Now the entire question is now turned into the required terms in the proving part. So if I apply the differentiation here with respect to x, again d by dx of 1 minus x square into y1 square is equal to d by dx of p square minus p square y square. So you can just observe here, it is a product function, 1 minus x square into y1 square. So you have to go for UV rule. So I am applying UV rule, 1 minus x square, y1 square differentiation will become 2y1 y2. Because you have to use the x power n formula first, that's why 2 into y1. As this base is not x, inner differentiation for y1 will give you second order differentiation. Coming to the next one, v into u dash. One derivative will become 0, minus x square derivative will become minus 2x is equal to, right side if you see this p square term is a constant, so derivative will become 0. Second term minus p square into 2y y1. Why? Because again the same logic. You have to use x power n into x power n minus 1, so 2y. Base is not x, so inner derivative for that you will get y1. You can just observe here, if you are looking for on the both the sides what are the common terms that can be cancelled out here. If you just observe that part, 2 is the first term that can get cancelled out, y1 will get cancelled out. So if you just rewrite this equation, you will be getting 1 minus x square into y2 minus xy1 is equal to minus p square y. So but if you see in the proving part, right side you are having 0, indicating that you have to bring this term to the left side. So if you bring this term to the left side, you will be getting 1 minus x square into y2 minus xy1 plus p square y is equal to 0. So you observe here, whatever they are asked to prove, that itself came directly here. If you don't follow this step by step procedure, what will happen? You will find out first y1, that means first order derivative, then you will find second order derivative, then you will try to substitute here. In this process, for example, if you left out any minus anywhere, obviously at the end calculation won't come as a correct answer. So instead, whenever you are having the second order derivative type of questions involved, you just please think of at every level what is the chance for modification that you can do and how to bring in these required terms in the solution that we have. If you develop this type of thinking at every level, you will be getting answers in a very easy manner. Maybe you might have learned for the same solution that finding the second order derivative for dy by dx and all, still you will get answer. But my idea here is to give you the simplest solution possible so that your phobia for the maths will get reduced. Right? Now with the same logic, let us try to do one more question. How to use those, how to use the same type of logic in the other questions also. Let us see now. Please see this question now. See, for example, if I have a question like this, y is equal to log of x plus root over x square plus a square, then show that x square plus a square into d square y by dx square plus x dy by dx is equals to 0. Let us see the solution for this. Y is equal to log of root x plus root over x square plus a square, and you have to prove this part. So you can just observe here, it is just similar to the previous question. You have a second order derivative and you have a first order derivative here. As I told you, whenever you are having second order derivative based questions, try to utilize the try to bring in the terms that we have in the proving part whenever you are doing the first order derivative. First of all, let us apply derivative for this function. Y1 will become, log function differentiation will be 1 by x plus root over x square plus a square, but this is not x, it is other than x, so you have to do the inner differentiation for this. So inner differentiation for x will be 1 plus root x differentiation, we know that is nothing but 1 by 2 root over x square plus a square. Again, this is not x, inner derivative for this will give you x square differentiation 2x, a square is a constant, it will become 0. So if you just simplify it, you will be getting like this, y1 is equal to 1 by x plus root over x square plus a square into, here if you take LCM you will get root over x square plus a square, this is root over x square plus a square and then plus x, so this is y1. So if you just look for the cancellations, all these two terms are same and you will be getting y1 is equal to 1 by root over x square plus a square. Now see what I told you, after finding the first order derivative, try to look for the required terms in the proving part. If you just observe in the proving part, we don't have any square root term at all, but we got here square root. This is giving a hint that you have to eliminate this square root. How to eliminate this square root? We have to do the squaring on both sides. 1 by x square plus a square. So if I just send this term to other side, x square plus a square into y1 square is equal to 1 here. Now you may get a doubt here, why can't we keep it as it is and why can't we apply the differentiation? You can do that part also, you will get the answer. But what is the reason for me to go for this is, here it's a product whereas here it's a division. That means applying product rule is easy compared to the division rule. That is why I am going for the product rule. Now I am going to apply differentiation for this equation on both the sides. Again, if you just observe, it's a product of two functions. You have to apply UV rule. So you will be getting x square plus a square. Again here x1 y1 square means you have to apply x power n formula, that is nothing but 2 y1 y2 and then plus y1 square. For this x square plus a square derivative will become 2x. I think you can guess the derivative of a constant is 0. So you can just observe here, from all these terms you can take a 2y1 as a constant, as a common, then you will be getting y2 plus 2 I had taken, y1 also I had taken, y1x will be left is equal to 0. So if you just write the last step, by sending this term to other side, you will left out with x square plus a square y2 plus x y1 is equals to 0. You can just observe here, directly we came to the required statement. So here actually what happened, if you just keep it as it is without thinking from the proving point of view, you will for sure go for the second order differentiation here itself. When you go to second order differentiation here itself, just think it is having the radicals. On the top of that you have a division. So your calculation part will become more complicated. So you have to develop this type of thinking skills, like what is the reason for me to do the squaring on both sides, because I don't have a square root here, simple logic. So once if you develop this type of thinking skills in every question, for sure you will feel max is easy. The only thing is, please don't go with the random thoughts. You just have to, whenever you are writing any particular step, means there should be some logic and some reason behind that, then only go for it. Then you will feel that max is easy and you won't feel any sort of complexity, though you will solve a very difficult question also, right? Thank you everyone. Like this, in every day we are going to discuss few important models across all the chapters in class 10 and 12, so that we can we both will together learn this type of logical skills and the one strategic way of thinking while solving a question. Thank you everyone.